Welcome to the Chew on This podcast. Join your host, Dr. Katie Chew, and her guests as they chew on what matters, one story at a time.
Welcome back to another episode of Chew on This podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Katie Chew. And today I have a very special friend and colleague in our industry, Kristen Tischler. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Good. I always like to hear people say that they're awesome.
I am awesome today.
And, how should I say it? I met you a year ago. Less than a year ago.
Less than a year.
Less than a year ago through OWA, which is the Optical Women's Association. Mm-hmm. And that was something where, what an experience for me. It was my first time going on a retreat. And it was women from all parts of our industry. Mm-hmm. And the nice thing is that we only knew like our names, but we never really asked about what company we were working for or what we did. No titles, anything like that, right? And I think it was a 3-day event. And I met you at that very last moment. We had a farewell breakfast, mm-hmm. and that's how we connected. So thank you for making the time to be here on my podcast. And for my followers, would you like to kind of share a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. Well, I am Kristen Tischler. First and foremost, I'm a wife and a mom. I have 2 beautiful babies, 2 and 4. Professionally, I am the Chief Marketing Officer at Advanced Eye Care. Is ophthalmic equipment and technology. I've been with the company for almost 9 years now, and I've seen the evolution and growth story over the years. That's been just a fantastic experience.
Yeah.
Prior to vision care, this is my first dabble in vision care. I had an entire career in financial services, which was a complete 180 from where I am today in optical, and I will never look back. I absolutely love this industry, and I'm super passionate about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when that opportunity came up, right, and you kind of alluded to that it was a different industry, mm-hmm. what made you just go for it, right? Because it's different. It's a different industry, so something unfamiliar. Mm-hmm. And can you think of that moment where you go, yes, I'm going to go ahead and pursue it?
Yeah, a relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my life completely took a different turn than what I had envisioned for myself. I had a great career trajectory with where I was at. I had traveled, lived in different cities all over the U.S. and in Europe.
Yeah.
And I had settled back in my hometown with my family, bought a place, had a great job. And then I met my now husband.
Oh, nice.
So we started dating long distance. He lives now in Virginia Beach. I lived in Washington, D.C. at the time, and we dated long distance and said, if this is going to work out, then one of us has to move. And he's in the fire service, so I was the one that had to make that choice.
I was just going to ask if he was in our industry.
Yes.
Right? No. So you moved over to where he was, which was what city?
Virginia Beach.
Is Virginia Beach. Okay, so that's where you
was relocating, and with what I did professionally at the time, there's really not a big industry there. So I had to make a choice. I decided, I need to look elsewhere, and I thought I had found my passion. Yeah. But I knew I had to take a chance and take a risk and try something new.
You did.
Otherwise,
you would have not met. Well, so it's funny because you said you followed a relationship, mm-hmm. and I did the same, and that's how I ended up choosing optometry.
Really?
I followed a boy in college because if I didn't meet this boy in college, I would have probably, if nothing else distracted me, I probably would have been a biology high school teacher.
Really?
Because that was my route. And I was studying biology, but not pre-health or anything like that. I wanted to teach. And, I followed a boy. He was a year ahead of me, but he was going towards optometry. It was always his passion. And just, being around him and when you're young, you kind of have that vision of life together forever. Mm-hmm. And so, that's how I ended up being in optometry.
Yeah, kidding.
So I followed a relationship.
Yeah, we have that in common.
Yes, we do. Well, see, we learned something new on this podcast. All right. So, the format. Mm-hmm. You have the soft shoes. That's your bag. And then this is my bag. I have the hard shoes.
Okay.
So they're stuffed with questions that neither one of us know what they are. So I'm going to be gentle and nice to you. And you're going to pull one of the easier questions out of the soft shoes.
Okay.
And we're going to take turns answer.
There are a lot of questions in here.
I know. Well, I kind of have to prepare myself. When I'm on the road, I never know.
That's true.
So,
Like, here we go.
are you nervous? No.
A little bit. Okay. If you were a superhero, which one would you be and why?
Well, I'm going to make you answer it.
I don't know.
Unless you don't know.
I don't know the answer to
All right,
that.
we're
I
gonna
gotta
think
think
about
about
it. So
it.
let me think. If I'm a superhero, which one would it be? Huh. I don't know why I don't know if people will know this one. They're Wonder Twins. Do you remember the Wonder Twin power? They took forms of different things. I don't know. That maybe it's too obscure. Maybe they're not really superhero. I guess my other one would be this is hard.
It's a hard
Oh my
one.
gosh.
Do you want to come back to? I gotta think about it.
You
Can
know
we come
what?
back to it?
I've never done it before, but let's come back to it.
Okay.
Why is it hard for us? This is unusual.
Well, my husband he loves superheroes. My
Yes.
4-year-old son
Yes.
loves superheroes.
Yes.
I watch all the Marvel and DC
Yes.
comic movies and shows. I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my husband could probably rattle off 10 superheroes. that
So
he would
okay, I mean, I did say the super or Wonder Twin power. I don't know the names of the actual heroes that they are, but it's a brother and sister.
Mhm.
And when they linked I believe it was their fists together, one would transform herself into anything that was going to be a version of water.
Okay.
And that's who I want to be, or that I feel like that's who I am, is because
Tell me
I'm going to
more.
stick with that.
Yeah, tell me more.
Unfortunately, I can't remember her name, but if the reason I'm relating to that is that I had this affinity to water, and I feel like she can turn herself into ice, into snow, into rain, and I would love to be able to do that. And I think it just shows a little bit of the fluidity in my life, and that even though I'm becoming all these different forms, but I'm still the same, meaning it started with water. Does it make sense?
Mhm.
So water is my core. And then yet all the different things I'm doing, it's like I can tell myself, well, I need to be strong. I'm going to be a solid. So I'm going to be ice, right? And if I need to be where I'm in an environment where I need to like flow through things, then yeah, I'm going to be a running stream. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And and I feel like also
Adaptable.
adaptable, exactly. And then if I'm in a situation where metaphorically, if there's a fire in my life, right, then I'm going to transform into rain, right, and put it all out, right. So yeah, I'm going to stick with that.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah. Even though I can't remember her name. I'm sure the followers are going to be probably using AI. And what is the name of the Wonder Twin? One of the Wonder Twins. Yeah, but it was a brother and sister.
Maybe we'll remember by the end of the episode.
Yes. All right. Do you know yet, or you?
I
wanna
gotta
come
think
back?
about it.
Okay,
Let's
we
get
will-
back to
we
it.
will
But
come back
I'll
to
answer.
it.
I will
Okay,
answer.
so we will keep it out. All right. So we're gonna go to a hard shoe. When have you surprised yourself in how you responded to a situation?
When have you surprised yourself in how you responded to a situation?
I think for me, I would have to say that it's more in my practice, right? I think before my evolution of gaining more confidence in myself and all that, and knowing my value as a doctor, I think I don't let the little things bother me as much like it used to. And I think that is what I'm talking about. When these little situations come up, like I'm going to give you an example. We get audited normally. An audit, a chart audit is normal. And a lot of these insurance companies will mail us, a list of patient charts. And I remember back in the day, before my, transformation, even getting a letter like that, I would just feel this weird like anxiety come through me as if it was something negative. And then now it's like, this is normal.
Yes.
And I can't, it's just strange for me to see that I had gone through all that for like 20 something years. And these last 3 years, it's just like, oh, okay. And then it just gets done.
You know what to do.
I know what to do, but I don't have that weird sensation coming through me. And so that is something that has surprised myself. I've grown a lot through that. So
I would say, so the first thing that comes to mind is being a mom to little kids.
Okay.
And kind of things that happen unexpectedly at home, but will inevitably happen. Your kid hits his head on the wall or the floor, and you have to figure out, do I take him to the hospital? Do I do this? So there's a situation last year that happened where my dad had a very serious accident. I got a phone call from my mom at 10:45 at night, which is very unusual for her. So I knew something was wrong. And you kind of get into, what am I going to hear when I pick up the phone? And it was a crisis moment for our family. And how I would expect myself to react is panicked and rushed and overwhelmed and sad and just not knowing what, and just frazzled.
yeah.
But I was calm
And collected.
I did what I needed to do. I called my family member. I called my sister and my brother. We hopped in the car. We drove through the night, and the whole time I was just very focused on, I know what I need to do, and I'm not rattled.
Yeah.
Because what's in my control is in my control, and what's not is not.
So do you think having young kids kind of prepare you for that?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And
You're right.
yeah, thank God he's okay.
Yeah.
He's okay
Yes,
now.
but
But in that
helping you
situation, I was
to
able
manage. Yeah.
And that skill has translated into every aspect of my life. Of something, a fire, which inevitably comes up at work, you just say, okay, we're going to handle this.
Yeah.
What can we control? What can we not control?
Yeah. Yeah. And, my kids are much older than yours, but I agree with you. Like even the skill set that I've developed as a mother of raising young children, even though they're older now, I still find that I'm still implementing those type of skill sets, even in my current relationship with them. And then you're right. And then it also spills over to my work, and
Yeah.
it is wonderful. It is wonderful. Sometimes we're in the moment of being overwhelmed as a mom with young kids. But later on, when we look back, you're like, wow, it did teach us a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, being resilient in all those moments, and learning to, just not let not everything needs to be, how should I say it, have that immediate urgency,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Because we felt like everything, like just something even spilled on the table. Oh, we would get so overwhelmed. It's like, not a big deal.
Yeah, it's fine.
It is.
We're going to take care of it.
Exactly. Okay. That was a hard shoe. You want to pull a soft shoe?
Yeah.
All right. I've been in situations where the wind is blowing, and so these are flying around, and we're like having to like hold them.
Oh, this is a fun one.
Okay.
If we recorded this podcast in a completely different setting, where would it be and why?
Oh my goodness. Well, this is my answer. Because we were kind of talking about this earlier, but I would love to tape it with you out somewhere on water. Like a destination type of thing.
Be spectacular.
Yeah, because we were talking about retreats earlier, and so yeah, maybe the Caribbeans.
I love it. How do we make this happen?
I don't know, but people have always said, Katie, you're a woman of action. And so sometimes I surprise myself. Like things that come out of my mouth, it ends up happening. So who knows? We might be in the Caribbean one day. Doing
in.
our second repeat.
I'm in.
Okay, how about you?
So I would choose because it's such a it's something I remember distinctly is the moment we met.
Oh, yeah.
We were in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yes, we were.
We were packing up, sitting poolside at a standing bistro table having coffee, and our conversation was so natural and fluid,
Yeah.
overlooking a beautiful golf course.
Yes.
And so it'd be a great spot for a podcast.
That would be
But
nice.
the conversation was just so authentic and wonderful that it's one of those.
We stayed connected,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then I know. I think right now, are you finding yourself like appreciating these moments that are unexpected connections, right? And that, you know, we could have met like even 20 years ago, but sometimes because it takes us to be more seasoned, that then we actually nurture those relationships.
Absolutely.
Right? Can be, yeah. Yeah. Because I always feel like back in the day, I didn't have that skill set or that wisdom to say, hey, you don't always get a second chance in meeting somebody special. And so you do need to take in that moment and nurture it. You do have to nurture it. Relationships, I mean, like friendships, you don't have to have many. But when you know you have a good one, you do have to water it and feed it. And yeah, you have to give it love and attention.
Exactly.
Right, like a garden. Exactly. So, all right, we both answered that one.
Rihanna,
I think we're on a hard one.
shoe.
I know. They're kind of clustered in this bag here. All right. What's something you've held onto that gave you strength? What's something you've held onto that gave you strength? Well, I'm going to go first, but I'm going to take it literal. My mother's cross. My mom and I have had a very, how should I say it? Our relationship didn't start off well. But as a child, I didn't realize that it was not a healthy relationship. And so being abused as a child, I just took it, right? Because you don't know any better, right? And I think I've always craved for her attention, her love, but sometimes that attention and the love that she was able to show was not a healthy way. And so I was estranged from her for about 10 years of my adult life. And it was because before I made that decision of not talking to her for 10 years, I tried to ask her to go to therapy with me. And, she basically didn't want to acknowledge that, it doesn't have to be all her fault or my fault, but she basically just said that she didn't have any fault in it. And that, she didn't want to go into therapy. And I think that was my last attempt. And so at that point, I just said, I need to take care of myself. I need to take care of my own mental health. And so I didn't talk to her for 10 years. And when I finally did get reconnected to her, it was in the tail end of 2011. And I probably had about 4 meals with her. We would find a restaurant to meet for lunch and then another time to meet for dinner. So it was just 4 different times and to share a meal. And shortly afterwards, she was diagnosed with cancer. And I ended up being the person that stayed with her every day until she passed 6 months after her diagnosis.
Wow.
So there was a lot going on in terms of how I was managing and dealing with that type of relationship, right? And so when she did pass, all of her belongings got distributed amongst, the siblings and family and all that. And I didn't want any more of it. And then in October of this past year, I thought about the cross that my mother had and my sister had wanted it. And so Thanksgiving of last year, we were celebrating it at my sister-in-law's home. And for some reason, it just came about that I asked her if she still had the cross and if she was wearing it or if she was kind of wearing it. And she said no. And so she gave it to me. And so what I'm trying to say is, in answer to this question, what's something that you've held on to that gave you strength? I am physically, I touch it. And reminds me that I've forgiven my mom and that my mom did love me. And it was just how she was able to show it. I mean, for what she knew and how to do it, that was hooray. And so I'd learned to accept it and to forgive her. And so, but yeah, I physically touch it and to remind me. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Great story. Thanks for sharing. So I also had a literal moment. It was my grandmother's necklace. But since we've already done a necklace,
Yeah.
then I will share something, a saying.
Okay.
When I was in my early 20s, I was, I thought I had my whole life mapped out. I thought I'd have 2.5 kids by the time I was 26, and I had a good job, and I was not happy. I was in a relationship that wasn't right for me, and a job that wasn't right for me, that I was terrified to do anything different. So I'm like, this is what I thought success looked like.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel good. Like, is this substantive enough for me? I'm surrounding myself with things that don't inspire me or lift me up, and I didn't know what to do. So I decided, I thought it was a big taboo thing for 20 going to therapy, but it wasn't. I went and saw a therapist for myself, and I had 2 sessions with this wonderful woman, and she helped me say, you just got to take the first step. You don't know what you want to do. You just got to take the first step. And that's all I needed. I made a huge decision that changed the trajectory of my life. I left the job, I left the boyfriend, and I moved overseas. I got away from
Where did you
things.
go?
I moved to Germany.
Oh,
That's a whole nother story. We'll have to do that on a different podcast. But as I was
2, right?
or two on the Caribbean.
Yes. We'll talk about Germany.
Yes. But when I was thinking about, I wanted to blog. It was the early days of the WordPress blogs, and I was trying to think of a name for my blog, and I came up with the phrase "action creates momentum."
Okay.
So following the concept of motion creates motion, but action creates momentum is something that I tell myself to this day when I'm struggling with making a big decision. Just got to take that first step. You just got to take a chance, take a risk. And if it doesn't work out like you think, you can change it. And it's okay. You don't have to be afraid.
Yeah.
So action creates momentum.
Oh, that's beautiful.
On to.
And it was kind of like a video log or how vlog for boards. Oh, a blog.
I was working it before the vlogs. This was back in, gosh, I don't know, 2010 or so, 2011. And it was just I typed a couple blog posts, and
Nice.
and I go back and read it from time to time. But
I know, because it's a form of journaling. It is, right? And nice.
But I think about that all the time. Action creates momentum, and what that meant for me, like deep down, that life lesson that I learned when I coined that is something. It's something that I tell my kids. It's something that I tell myself all the time when I'm struggling to make a decision.
It is important to just learn to take that first step, even when it feels scary or you feel like there's uncertainty. I mean, it's true for everyone, right? It's just, but once you get used to taking that first step, it does become a little bit easier. It does, right? From practicing, right? And so you do find it much easier now, right? To take action.
Yes.
And to create that momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I find myself saying, why not? More often than I would say why.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it. I love it. All right. What was that? Was that a hard or easy? I think that was a hard.
That was a hard one.
Okay. So you pull us off.
Although the hardest one for me has been the superhero
Okay,
one.
we're going to keep that
No.
as the finale.
I keep thinking about it. Okay. What is one thing people assume about you that isn't quite accurate? I'll go first.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I need to know on this one.
So I come across as an extrovert.
Okay.
I talk to people all day, every day. I love talking to people, and I love
there's
relationships. And I call myself an extrovert and introvert. okay, recharging to me is going home and having quiet and sitting on my couch. And if you were to ask me on a Friday if I had to unwind and go out versus stay in and hang out in my bathrobe and my sweats, I would stay in.
Oh.
But if you knew me, then you would think
Yeah, I would just, I
that's
mean,
how
the
I recharge.
assumption is yes, I would say that I would think that you are an extrovert. And so what did you call yourself?
An extroverted introvert.
An extroverted introvert.
Thanks.
Yes, there is. I really do believe that it's on a spectrum. You can have the two at the end, right? The introvert and the extrovert, and people could just fall.
Yes.
But I know I'm not anywhere there. I'm literally the extrovert. I might even be off the scale sometimes. Oh, let's see. What's one thing people assume about you that isn't quite accurate? Um, I do believe that people, if they don't know me, they assume that I have my life together. And for the most part, I do feel like they're right. I do have my life together, but the inside, decades of layering of things that was not put together, I there was a lot of fixing, a lot of things that were broken within me, but I got so good at making the appearance of me not showing the brokenness. I think that finally caught up with me in terms of me going through therapy and understanding that it is okay to break those walls down and to show the vulnerabilities within me. And I think that's been a huge reason why I've been able to do so much more in this last, year and a half, because I'm just letting my true self come out. That vulnerable, broken person that I felt so ashamed of. And I decided there's nothing to be ashamed about. I think that's where the therapy has helped me.
Yes, absolutely. I gravitate towards you and towards people like you who do share, here are the struggles that I'm dealing with now or have gone through in the past. I think the concept of shared experiences and opening up about real life challenges is not natural in our culture. And it's a highlight reel, right? It's you always put on this front of here's everything great going on, but I think everyone has challenges inside of what they're going through, and sharing and opening up is what brings people together. It's helps people get through things.
Well, yeah, and I just feel like for some reason my life right now, everything is placed before me with a purpose. So like for me to go to that unplugged retreat, I've never signed up for any type of retreat ever, even if it was outside of industry, I didn't. And that was the first time where I signed up for something for me, right? But going to that retreat, that's when it really supported what I was going through, because everyone there had a story, right? There were so many tears that were shed, and yeah, that experience really did help us give me the momentum to keep doing what I was doing at the start of 2025. And I think our retreat was like probably in October of last year. And so what a way to like kind of finish off that year, to say, hey, Katie, all the work that you've been doing, like look at all these other women. They matters. That they have their own separate journey, right? We're all different people. That at the end we all mattered, right? That was what was so beautiful. That every one of us mattered. And we all like listened to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, and that's what brings
amazing.
That's what brings connections, like true human, genuine connections.
Yeah.
Is by sharing and being open and vulnerable and true.
Exactly.
It's so powerful.
It
in
is.
all aspects, in leadership and all like building connections with support systems and building hobbies. And
Yes.
like the connections are what bond us. And at the end of the day, that's all we have.
It is. It is. That's all we have. I mean, I've also learned, especially with my daughter going through the military, um, and she's had to like move quite a bit, and every move you take less and less and less. And I've learned through that process that it's not the material things, right? And less is better, in my opinion now. As I get older, I want to be a little bit freer to move to where I want to be and not have, it sounds it's physical and metaphorical, but all this baggage of all this stuff that I need to move with me. It's like, it's okay. It's more the memory. Like my daughter had always told Mom, why, you don't need to take so many pictures. You don't need, it's all in here. And I'm like, no, but I like taking pictures, but I get it now, right? It's the feelings, the emotions. That's what's left behind with us, right? And so, all right, that was, my gosh, that was kind of an emotional one for me. That was a soft one, I believe, wasn't it?
So was that a soft one?
No, actually, it was a hard one. So you pull us
Okay. Okay. What is a small thing that can turn your whole day around?
a small thing that could turn. Well, something just happened the other day. I was just, I parked my car to enter my practice, and a beautiful monarch butterfly just fluttered across the front door before I entered. And I was just like,
that.
oh, I know. Something as simple as, because we were in a very busy business area. And so we don't really see nature in that form. So for me to all of a sudden see a butterfly, I was, yeah, that put a very warm smile on my face.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. A small thing that can turn your whole day around. So I'm coming fresh off of another leadership retreat.
Yeah.
But this has been resonating with me a lot lately is the expression of gratitude
Okay.
and taking a moment and telling someone what they mean to you and what they've meant to you in your life. And I met this incredible author, Walter, I can't remember his last name right now, but he's written many books and there's presentations all over the world of got to meet him and listen to his story. But
And he was presenting?
yes, there was a very small group. There were maybe 25 of us. But the concept is say it now.
The concept is?
Say it now.
Say it now.
So like, why wait until death to give a eulogy?
Yeah.
And telling people what a gift, telling people what they mean to you and what an impact they made on you, small or big.
Yeah.
Like, hey, when you said this to me the other day, that meant a lot to me and really gave me the confidence I needed. Or to, your mom or to your colleague or to an old friend. We knew each other 15 years ago, but there was such a momentous time in my life. And this is what you mean to me and what you wanted to me then.
Yeah.
And sending that gift to somebody, whether it's written or we did quick videos, the text videos, and it does something here. And to hear the responses back are usually very deep and thoughtful and impactful for you too. But it's such a gift, and it changes your whole day.
Yeah. And it's like a living form of, like you said, eulogy, right? It's, I always told my daughters, and I actually told one of my sales reps, because I see her like a daughter of mine, and but I said just in case if my daughters forget, I know you'll remember. I'm telling my sales rep, right? And I said, if I ever get like ill, I go, I want a living memorial. Like, you know what I mean? Like, usually people have the memorial after the person has passed, right? But at the same time, it's like, I want that last moment to, I mean, it sounds weird, but I want to hear all the good things that people are, are thinking of me before I leave, right? That, yeah, I just want to have that one last moment. So yeah, it's kind of like that. All right. I didn't answer it with what's a small thing. Oh, no, we already did. I said butterfly.
The butterflies.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Hard one. How are you doing with these questions? So
I love them. This is fun.
All right. What's something you're building right now that people don't fully see yet?
Goals?
I mean, when I say that I'm a work in progress, that is something that I'm building. I'm not constantly working on it. I have so many different personal projects that I'm working on. And I'm not talking about things that I do, but just internally, I think one of them is I'm working still on myself that in terms of being okay to possibly live the rest of my life single. Do I want to be single? No, I'm just being very honest with you. But I also look at it's been 6 years and I'm still single, if that makes sense. And I'm thinking, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to find a partner to share the rest of my life with. And I think that's the part that I'm still trying to be okay with that, if that makes sense. It's not like, I am not a strong person. I am a very strong person. And I also know that I can do a lot of things on my own. But I do also want to have a partner. Sure. And so that's what I'm working on right now is to be able to accept that.
Well, people come in and out of your life
Yes.
when they're supposed to.
Of course. But but there's a part of me going, I've always held on to what you just said, right? That 6 years is a long time, and yet that 6 years went by fast. So what's gonna, so I keep thinking, or another 6 years is gonna go by just as fast as the last 6 years. And how old am I gonna be by then? And so, what I mean? That's where I'm still, working on myself. And people don't see that. Yeah.
Well, Heinz, not to make an eye joke, but hindsight is 2020. You've done a lot of growth and personal reflection. We're learning to know and live and help yourself, and you're inspiring yourself in different
Yes,
ways.
I am.
So maybe
I
you're
am.
not a home partner right now. But you will.
No, I know. I keep telling myself if I did have a partner at this point in my life right now, I probably wouldn't be able to do all the things that I've been achieving. The things that I'm achieving are actually, and I've told you, passion projects.
Yeah, they're spectacular.
Yeah, and it just brings me so much joy to feel like I'm leaving some kind of imprint or legacy of some sort into my small little world in some way. But yeah, I think that's my answer.
Yeah.
How about you?
Something you're building right now that people don't fully see as. So I'm going to refer to what I'm working on at work right now.
Okay.
So my job, it's a big job and I have a very lean team. So I cover multiple countries, multiple divisions within each country, and there's a lot of commonalities between everything that we're doing in different markets. So I have really leaned into AI.
Okay.
And I'm building additional team members on agents on my platform.
Nice.
So we can support at scale and we can grow at scale. So it's still a lot of groundwork and learning and experimenting, and I'm having so much fun with it, but I'm also taking courses and watching AAs. And it's something I'm kind of doing on my own time and working when I have the time to sit and say, I want to work on this particular agent. I want to work on my chief of staff. I want to work on my brand strategy and positioning agent for this brand in this market.
Yeah.
And it's going to take time, but I am so excited for once things start to hum, it's going to just make my entire team, like it's going to make the momentum. Action creates momentum. You just got to start. Right?
Yes.
And it's a blast, but I don't think nobody knows behind the scenes what I'm doing just because it's a project. It's something fun.
Exactly. And I'm just going to kind of talk about like the whole AI, I think some parts of the younger generation, I feel like they're not embracing it as well as I know I'm older than you, but I guess what I'm talking about is like my daughters. They're in this one generation where they feel kind of threatened with AI taking over their jobs, right? But I think for our generation or generations, I'm putting plural because you're in one and I'm in the other. But for us, I think we see AI as a tool to advance our learning.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
We don't feel like it's gonna take over our jobs because we know our jobs so well that AI basically is just going to enhance what we do. I don't know if you feel that way.
Exactly.
Right?
Access to information is going to make us table stakes. We're going to be able to know everything we need to know at our fingertips.
Yeah.
And where the real skills, where I think your daughter should lean into, is the EQ skills, the communication skills, the connection skills. Because when all the data and information is table stakes, then that's what's gonna win. That's what's gonna bring people together.
Yeah. And fortunately, both of my daughters have that EQ skill. But at the same time, I think, when you have a generation where they ended up not developing that interpersonal skill set, I think it does hold them back a little bit when we have AI integrated in the workplace, right? And it's so yeah, it's a very how should I say it? I just think this whole horizon with AI is exciting. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. I don't see it as threatening in any way. So
Well, it's here.
it
And it's
is here,
coming.
and we have to embrace it. We have to
Exactly.
embrace it. And like they say, whether you love it or you hate it, the reality is that it has already arrived, and it's just gonna keep exponentially, become more and more entrenched in everything. So all right, that was a card. Let's go ahead and do one more round, and then I think we're gonna be watching the sunset.
Oh. Well, I kind of already answered this one, but what's your go-to way to recharge when you have a free hour?
Okay. Let's see. I am going to say recharge when I have a free hour. If I have a free hour, I mean, I do like to go on my phone. And because I'm usually being pulled in all different directions, and so I don't get as much screen time as I would like. And so if I have 1 hour, like at an airport, if I have to be waiting, to be boarded, that 1 hour is where I just get to relax and just kind of like look through social media. And it sounds weird, but I don't get to do that the rest of the day. And so, yeah, I feel like I can be a little bit like a kid.
Totally. I scroll too. I want to see what people are doing and what's going on. I want to see all my toddler memes and my corporate joke memes and my honey puppy video meme. I want to see those things. Those make me happy.
And so it does recharge me because it makes me feel like everybody else, Yeah, because again, when you're busy seeing patients or you feel like, you have all these meetings that you got to go to and after work and then all these other society meetings or just all those stuff that's just pulling every which way. Yeah, I'm going to be the first to say it's screen time.
No shame. We all do
No
it.
shame.
We all do
I
it.
am going to say yeah.
Call your bluff.
All right. Let's see. That was a soft. Okay, we're gonna finish it. This is the finale, and then you gotta answer.
I have my answer. I'm ready.
All right, here we go. The last of the hard shoes, and they're stuck together. Okay, here we go. What's something you're proud of that no one really knows about? I can answer this. I mean, not that nobody knows about. My family knows about it. But I throw really good parties.
I am not surprised.
I mean, I'm talking about the professional world. They don't really know that I love to host and entertain. And when I do, I go all out. Like themes and things like that. I just want everyone, it makes me feel happy to know that everyone else is happy. Because usually as a host, I'm like just buzzing around everywhere, right? And everyone's like, you need to eat, you need to sit down. I'm like, no, I'm fine. And then even after like people leave, I'm not tired because I've been recharged during the party. So I'm still like cleaning up and everything. They're like, can we stay? Can we help you? No, you guys go quiet. See you next time. But I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, that's what people don't know is that I really do enjoy entertaining and pulling people together. Like I'm planning to like call up my classmates from optometry school and probably have them come to my home and do a Chinese hot pot. Yeah, we're gonna.
Love it.
Yeah, I haven't sent out the invite, but it will be coming soon because we did last year.
Name your top 3 themed parties that you've thrown over the themes.
My top.
What top your
3?
favorite?
Let's see. Well, I mean, I love doing Christmas. I love doing Easter, and I'll decorate the table because I have a farm table as my dinner table, so I do love decorating it like that. But probably the third one. Oh, I am gonna go with the theme one. We did a Great Gatsby
Fun.
murder mystery party, and this was actually for my daughter's 16th birthday, her so-called sweet 16. We did a murder mystery, and so I made these invites and we sent it out to all of her friends that she wanted to invite, and basically it in the invitation it was telling that particular guest who their character is and their personality and all that stuff, right? It came in the little thing. And believe it or not, I mean, I went and already bought like little accessories just in case if they didn't come dressed as that part, I would already have all that there, right? Just in case. Every single one of her friends that came, they were dressed to the T
I love it.
to the character. And they even came in with the accent or the persona through the voice. It was such a blast.
That's spectacular.
It was such a blast. And we did a little thing where at the end, the person who committed the crime was put in jail. So we even had pictures of the what do you call it? The prison number. And so we took Polaroids and each person got one. It's just,
I love it. That's so fun.
It is fun. Yeah. So those are the theme parties.
Love it.
All right. I'm staring at that one last easy question, which you didn't.
The first question of the day, that was super hard for me.
Yes. And we were going to come back around.
Yes. The question is, if you are a superhero, which one would you be and why? So I've been thinking of like all these characters in my head. And when I mentioned about my grandmother's necklace,
Yes.
it's like, that's my superhero. It's like, it doesn't have to be a fictional character.
It doesn't.
My grandmother is my superhero. And I'll tell you why. She was born and raised in Denmark and grew up outside of Copenhagen.
Okay.
And then she was a teenager. She served in the Danish resistance during World War II to help the Jews escape to freedom. She spoke 7 languages. She was an interpreter for the American intelligence after the war. She took care of her family. She had 4 children, and everyone who came over to the United States, my mother and 2 of my uncles were born overseas. And
So this grandmother is your maternal grandmother.
maternal grandmother. Yep. So 4 children. I forgot to mention, she was an Olympic swimmer. So an athlete.
Really? Representing Denmark.
Representing Denmark. She never got to compete. She was selected for the team, but they canceled the Olympics because of the wars.
Still.
Yes. But she works in the school systems, that she taught swimming. She taught me how to swim and all of my cousins, and she swam competitively herself. Did you?
Awesome.
I did. I swam. Yep. And she swam competitively, won national medals until she was 90 years old.
Wow.
And she, above all, she of course was an overachiever, and she did everything well that she set her mind to, but she always put family first. And she was at every family event. She loved dogs more than anything. She always said, a house is not a home without a dog. And she always had her dog. She had a big German Shepherd. She's a little tiny petite woman. But she was all like number one, even though all the things that she would accomplish in her life that most people couldn't do in multiple lifetimes. It was always family first. Oh, she is my superhero. And I see it in my mom. I see it in my whole family.
So she has left a legacy.
She has left
Right.
big
Right.
shoes to
And
fill.
we know through you sharing that story, right? You know that you are the living legacy of her, and then you're just going to be passing it down to your children, right? Oh,
And so her necklace, just to finish that, it was her necklace that she got when she was a teenager in Denmark. And every time when I'm having a rough day or I feel like I need a little extra strength, I say, I'm bringing grandma with me.
oh, yeah. Wow. You know, I think it was meant to be that you didn't answer it too quickly from the beginning, right? Because we would have not have heard the story.
Yeah.
So it was meant to be that you didn't answer it. And I was going to say, nope. I was going to say, nobody gets to like have a second chance to answer. You need to answer it impromptu.
Yes.
So, oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. And what was your grandmother's first name?
Minna.
Minna.
Minna. M-I-N-N-A.
Minna.
Yes.
Oh,
And it's my daughter's middle name.
oh, really? Same spelling too?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Does she know the story or not yet?
She's only 2. So
Oh, she's
not
only
yet. She
2.
will.
Oh,
She
okay.
will.
Okay.
Her first name is after my husband's grandmother, who is another
Nice.
incredible woman. So we've got some great stories to share when she gets older.
Yeah. These generational stories, we have to keep passing them in forward, and so, all right. Well, thank you again
This is so
for
fun.
spending
Thank you.
this afternoon or late afternoon. I think we're seeing a little bit of the sunset out here in Nashville, Tennessee. And so I want to say to all my followers, thank you again for spending time with us, and always live your life purposefully, see your life so clearly, and lead boldly. So until next time, take care. Bye-bye. All right.
That was fun.
Wait a minute. Something happened. I am going to see.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, it's still going. He knows about. My family knows about it. But I throw really good parties.
I am not surprised.
I mean, I'm talking about the professional world. They don't really know that I love to host and entertain. And when I do, I go all out, like themes and things like that. I just want everyone, it makes me feel happy to know that everyone else is happy. Because usually as a host, I'm like just buzzing around everywhere, right? And everyone's like, you need to eat, you need to sit down. I'm like, no, I'm fine. And then even after like people leave, I'm not tired because I've been recharged during the party. So I'm still like cleaning up and everything. They're like, can we stay? Can we help you? No, you guys go quiet. See you next time. But I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, that's what people don't know is